Laketress Jones. She is going to talk about what we can look forward to, where we are, and what we can look forward to in the future. So passing it over to you, Treese.
Thank you kindly. Okay. Okay, everybody, we're going to hit the high points on a couple of things here. First things first, let's just kind of go over what we're going to talk about today. Don't wait to the end to ask your questions. Feel free to ask your questions during the presentation. Come off of mute. Don't drop them in the chat because I can't see it because I have my stuff on presentation mode and I'm working off of 3 screens. So just hop on in, ask your question whenever I'm going through. Please feel free. I'm going to quickly give you guys a quick snapshot about me, and I do mean quick. I'm going to talk to you guys about how the money that we bring in impacts the chapter. I'm going to talk to you guys about the expenses that we go through running the chapter, how we are compliant, mitigating risk in the future, and then just kind of things that we can do together as a chapter, as one, and people that are potentially wanting to become a member to help us continue to move forward with some of the risks that we'll address here shortly. First things first, my name is Laketress. I go by Treese. Born and raised here in Dallas, finished at UTA, currently work for Pepsi. Been doing this 10 years, nonprofits for 5. I like to dance, sleep, and read. Okay, hopping right in. So one of the things I will tell y'all in terms of how we bring in money, we have seen a shift from my time. I said 5 years I've been serving with nonprofits and financials. With this particular organization, I've been serving with Brandy served with Brandy since I think 2019. Shift or understanding of our financials before I joined as the VP treasurer. So to break down what y'all are looking at, this is a compilation of our percentage of how we bring in money. So the one on the left was 2021. You will see our biggest bucket of money that we brought in was from corporate partnerships, 59%. As we go into this year, 2023, and this is year to date, we are seeing that shift to membership rebates. What does that mean? Essentially, we are seeing a shift in how we bring in money from a revenue, quote unquote, because we're a nonprofit, right? So we're seeing the money shift on how we bring in the money. And so where I argue like corporate partnerships are great, membership rebates are all great. What we want with a diversified way that we bring in money is a little bit more equity between these two between these years. So over the course of 3 years, we have really just seen a shift on how we bring in money as a chapter. So just wanted to point that out visually as we continue to go on. Now, how we spend money. Our biggest buckets of how we spend money is in programming, scholarships. Dr. Lee hit on that a little bit. And also our Leaders of Tomorrow programming, which Dr. Tyrone Smith talked a little bit about our Leaders of Tomorrow before Daryl was able to hop on. And so that's where most of our money goes into those major buckets. In terms of like how we spend money for us, we are all 100% volunteer based. We are here because we want to be here, like, right? Nobody's getting paid to be here. And so that allows for all of the money that we bring in that y'all pay to be part of the organization to get poured right back into programming, right back into the city of Dallas, right back into students, scholarships, into the Leaders of Tomorrow programming. Everything that y'all are putting into the organization, we are putting right back into the city of Dallas and Fort Worth. And so I think that that's intentional. I think that's the way that things should be. And I think that this honestly is a really good percentage breakdown. We want most of our money to go into programming. Right. So because you guys are members here and we are the ones that are contributing to the ways that we would like to see. I argue if y'all are members and y'all would like to see us doing anything different with areas of Dallas that you think, oh, from a programming standpoint, we'd like to see this, please let us know. And I would love to give y'all data and feedback on those things as well. Going a little bit deeper into our expenses. So when we put on programming, I guess the one of the ones that I think that Amber hit on earlier was our networking mixer. Like we have to pay those venues and we have to pay for whatever those things that are associated with it, or what coming up for our end of year gala. So those things, like those are things that we pay ahead of time from a programming standpoint and from a Leaders of Tomorrow standpoint. We don't want those students to have to worry about those expenses. We want them to come in and get the programming and worry about getting the education. That's it. And from y'all, we want y'all to come in and come in, pay if you're a non-member, right? Or if you're a member, come in and experience the program and enjoy whatever we're putting on from that speaker standpoint or whatever. But all of those things cost us as an organization. So that's what we're spending our money on. Over the course of the time that I've been serving, we have seen expenses range anywhere from $70,000 to $90,000 for us to spend to run this organization. The reason I'm so transparent about that is because I think sometimes people don't realize how much it can cost to run an organization. Well, to be honest, that's about how much it costs. Now, I will tell y'all what we saw with the pandemic is we did see a dip, and with the introduction of things being online, we saw some of our expenses go a little bit lower than what the average scale of trends were. But I will tell you, as things ramp up and inflation is real, we are seeing the impact. Nonprofit or not, we are still a business. And so we are feeling the impacts that y'all may see on your side as well, as y'all are spenders as well. And I'm pretty sure y'all are feeling the impacts like us are on our end as well. So with that being said, this is what we are spending our money on and how much it can cost us to run this organization over the course of an annual spend, anywhere from 70 to 90. Like I said, a little bit of a dip from a pandemic standpoint, but we're seeing those things gear back up. Okay, so how we bring in money outside of your membership rebates and those corporate partnerships that I touched on a second ago. So we sell things now through the swag shop that is available online. We have third-party shopping. So if you guys are shopping through Amazon or I think Kroger is who we partner with now. All right, Demetrius, I believe. There's literally a little check down. You can say, oh, do you want to partner with a nonprofit? We'll match your stuff. Da, 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 da. If you guys will go in and make National Black the person of your choice, those dollars do come back and they'll hit us. Also with your organizations and your businesses at work, if y'all it's we're donating and we do a match for match. When y'all do that, we get the money. Somebody from Verizon donated and I had to go in and fill out some paperwork and prove that we were a real organization, and the funds come in and they hit. So those are the way things outside of your straight donations or things that you do from a matching program, that's how we're getting those things that come in specifically. Also, if we're doing fundraising specifically earmarks for scholarships or for what's the other one? Leaders of Tomorrow. Anything that we put on the specifically earmarked for those programs, we make sure that the funding goes directly to those specific parts of the business. All right, 6 minutes left. Moving quickly. Any questions? All right, great. Okay. Internal audits and why we do them. Y'all, so part of being a nonprofit is we do have to keep things compliant in order to keep our nonprofit status with the Texas Comptroller and the IRS. And so we have internal audits, like we're not being audited the same way like businesses are. As long as we are keeping things copacetic, we hope nothing is sparked if we're filing our taxes and things on time. Nothing is setting anything off to be audited. And I will tell y'all, we do a good job. It's funny that Willie is here because of this next slide. So in order to ensure that we are still compliant with these things, there's 3 financial strategies. I stole this off of ABBA's thing, and I used it in a presentation earlier this year. So it's funny that they're here today. We as an organization, y'all, we are very rigorous in how we keep up with our financial guidelines. A lot of times y'all may not know like all that we do behind the scenes. And so we're putting together monthly, we're reviewing our monthly statements of how much is coming in, how much is going out, or reconciling those against the bank statements. We, at the beginning of the year, have an approved budget that we're filing from. The one that's in this top corner is the financial guidelines that's going through the approval process through the vice president and the executive board. And then this bottom corner here is just us keeping up with our actual spend compared to that budget that we put together at the beginning part of the year. So we are really following these 3 financial strategies in order to be compliant as a nonprofit business to ensure that we don't lose our status of nonprofit to continue forward in that future outlook. I see questions in the chat, but I can't read them. So Eva, will you let me know if any of those are for me?
Yeah, Willie is just saying, feel free to use this. We're cousin organizations. Thank you, Willie.
Wonderful. Thanks, Willie. Okay. This is just kind of the things. Oh, also, here's our EIN number if y'all need it. Stephanie and I are in talks about how we can put this on the website. If ever your company needs to know and you need to register National Black through your business where you work, I can get all of this information so it's easily accessible. Okay, diversifying our income strategy and mitigating risk. Some of the things that we just talked about, like how we mitigate risk from financial guidelines. we talk about like how we do those things as a board and how you guys are partners with us. We make sure that we have separations of duties, and Demetrius and we have checks and balances on who's on our bank account, and making sure that no one person, like me as the financial person, I can't approve my own money that comes out of the bank. Like Demetrius has to approve it for me, and vice versa with him, and same with the rest of the executive board. Everybody else has to have checks and balances on how the money comes in and goes out. So it's just important that we do that to mitigate risk and keep ourselves honest as a board as well, and not have fraud within our organization. It's very important to me with a finance and accounting background. Also, we conduct those internal audits. Y'all saw that we had passed our last biannual audit just a second ago with those last ones that were on there. And then also from the left, diversifying our income. We talked about the income or the fundraising strategies before, programming before, and then also some things I think we could do some better of. It's better of raffles, silent auctions, and more programming specifically earmarked for Leaders of Tomorrow and the scholarships. Whew, baby, I'm running through this fast. Okay, here we go. Last but not least, our future financial outlook. I think that there's making sure that our financial outlook over the next course of 3 to 5 years should be aligned with our incoming and current president, Demetrius, as he has a vision for Dallas, making sure that whatever finance is doing is aligned to whatever that is. And then also from the national level, we are a chapter of the national level. So making sure even your financial strategic approach aligns to whatever that looks like. And then to just hit on some things that happened this year with the Supreme Court decision and some of the things that we are seeing that we've talked about as an organization with the change that we've seen. So shout out to our partners that are on the call to Texas Capitol, people that are saying, hey, we're not studying things that are happening from the Supreme Court decision, specifically was meant for schools, but we are seeing the impact in businesses. We are seeing the reduction in DEI funding, and that is impacting our chapter. Essentially, I talked about how we saw the shift from 59% to the money coming in from rebates. So what that means from a future financial outlook and what that means for our organization is we have to be proactive and diversify how that revenue comes in to have a more equal split, and making sure that we are doing the work of having a more stable approach that's not so reliant on our partners. And I love that you guys are on the call today, and it means so much that y'all are willing to partner with us, but we have to be diligent and not rely on those partnerships, and we have to do the work on fundraising ourselves and kind of lifting ourselves up and continue to put money into the reserve in case these things continue to go on with the way that they have over the course of the last 3 years. Okay, so reserve, Supreme Court decision, mitigating risk, and then I had a question. Thank you. Any questions? I know I went through that very quickly, y'all. Oh, that's my favorite kind of presentation when y'all don't have questions. They do that to me at work too, y'all. Means I did a great job. Okay, well, I'm gonna pass it back to you, but they said they had no questions.
Alrighty, and if you do have questions, maybe you're still marinating on what she said. Like she said, it was a bit fast, but we're trying to be respectful of everyone's time. Feel free to email her and she can provide additional information. So thank you, Therese, for going over that. We appreciate it. So one last thing before we let you go, we have our Empowering Visionaries gala that's going to be coming up this year. So we hope that you all can join us. It's going to be Friday, December 15th at the African American Museum of Dallas. You should have already received some information on the save the date in your newsletter. And right now we still have our nominations open for member awards. Those categories are Member of the Year, Emerging Leader of the Year, Entrepreneur of the Year, and Community Champion of the Year. So go in there, nominate those individuals that have been putting in work within the organization and deserves recognition. We love to celebrate them and let them know that we appreciate their service to the organization. So I know we're right here. Actually, we're over time. I do apologize. So if our meeting is concluding, if you have questions and want to stay on another few minutes, we're more than happy. If not, you are dismissed for the evening. And once again, we appreciate you all for joining us tonight, as well as being members and partners with National Black MBA Dallas Fort Worth Chapter. Thank you all and have a great evening.
Thanks, guys.